podcast with Arnya and
Fancy. He started early. It had not quite started. It was spinning, but we're on. So welcome, y'all.
Oh yeah, we're on now. How's your day? It's starting to feel a lot like Christmas around.
Well, that's nice. I don't celebrate Christmas, so. But you know, I just don't like the cold. Other than that, things are really good. How about you?
Well, I celebrate Christmas and I like the cold. I mean, I like the cold because I always say I can add more clothes, but in the winter I can't.
Yeah.
So
I'm never warm though, so it's like add more clothes does not help. And I don't like all that on me, like those layers, but
I don't like clothes either. I mean, like that, but hell, I prefer to add more clothes than to be sitting here not being able to get relief, rather.
I guess
so. I like it. I like the temperature about 75. I think that's anybody though.
That's okay.
Right, huh?
I said that's okay. That's okay too.
Oh, okay. So let's get into our new topics. We have this has been a trending topic lately. Kevin Samuel told a young lady, I think his name is Samuel, told a young lady that pretty much that she can't want a man who is a six-figure. That's six-figure. Pretty much he was like, do you want me to say it? Like, you look in the mirror, do you want me to say it? And she was like, I mean, I he asked her, what would she rate herself from 1 to 10? She said a 5.
I didn't watch that far.
She said a 5. To me, okay, my thought on the whole situation is this. First of all, I'm not calling into your show for validation on who I'm going to date and how I'm going to date and everything. Who told you to call him? And then you claim that he's always so mean. Because she was like, you're being mean. You're being mean. Who? And she even says that he's rude to people. Why are you calling him? Why are you calling him? And if you want a six-figure girl, a six-figure man, girl, go get you one. Like, he's not that appealing to me to be talking down to somebody. That was just my thought. He wasn't just the best looking person in the world.
No.
But your take? Because you texted me and was like, I can't.
I really started feeling bad. I stopped watching because it was at one particular point. I don't know, look, my eyes kind of getting watery now because he really kind of stepped on my toes, I kind of feel, when he was like, you have a 13-year-old son. Like, nobody's going to want you with a 13-year-old son. And I just couldn't believe that someone would say something like that in this day and age in 2020. But at the same time, it was just like, damn, that might be true. Like I've never thought about that, being that I had my kids so young. Of course, now as I date, or in the past, well, now everybody older than 13. So if they didn't want, I'm like, if he's saying people don't want you with a 13-year-old, then they may not want you with a 16 and 15-year-old either. That just kind of threw me. But I'm also not about to call into no radio show, like you said, needing validation. But sis did not, I don't know. I was wondering how she made. I want to know how she's making six figures. Did she ever say what her occupation was?
She owns a bakery or something. Hey, Sharon, I see you say hello.
Hey, I'm sorry.
She has like a bakery, something. I look past that because I just was like, he is going in on this.
But the fact that, because my whole thing was, why did she call in? And initially, and she even said she had been like waiting to call and trying to catch him. She had went to his website. She was about to pay for a consultation. And then he was still so ugly to her. But at the same time, like, why were you so insistent on speaking to him? You know, and he just about listening to him would kind of turn me out from all men, to be honest. But I went to his Instagram, I wasn't about to give him too much of my attention, but I did go and check it out. And it was like, he was talking about he's about to start doing something kind of like Ebony and Jet or something, like with the couple of the week and healthy relationships. And I just can't picture somebody who spoke as ugly as he did to her talking about healthy relationships. I mean, from the moment of you're being disrespectful, that was another thing when he said you're being disrespectful, because, you know, like you just said, damn my business, and you gonna have your day anyway. And then he was like, that's the problem with y'all black women. Did you catch that part? He was like, y'all don't do things in order. That was toward the beginning, but I was just like, wow. I don't think he even liked us to begin with. So, yeah, that's my take on it.
Kevin Samuels specializes in male image consulting, personal shopping, wardrobe, and image makeovers for men and companies. So that's what he does. She went after him. She sought after him. She knew what type of person he was. That's what got me. She, like you said,
that's why I think there's like something else with her.
It has to be like she wanted advice from him on how to get a 6-figure man.
And she went to him like he was the end all be all, you know, like, please give me the keys. That's kind of how she was seeming, in my opinion.
Right. And the problem is this: a lot of thin women feel they have an upper hand because they are thin. But to be keeping it real, men like big women also. And also, it don't matter what you have. Like he said, I don't care about your money. He was like, I don't care about your money. I don't care about what you have. And yes, some men like status, but let's keep it real. Why you think so many of these women be taking a lot of these men, a lot of their money? Because they didn't have nothing when they first started, you know? And I just feel like this: teach his own, whatever you want. But I'm not calling into a radio station or no YouTube or nothing. Hey, Curtis, I'm not calling into none of that to get your opinion on how I should date. Like, there was an esteem issue there to me.
Oh,
there was a esteem.
Because she said from the beginning that she dates down. She started out twice. She said she dates down, which is crazy. I'm not about to call in and just tell nobody I be dating down. So you obviously know that you're dating down. And then she kind of tried to like switch it up. But she definitely had a lot of self-esteem issues. You could tell just from that alone. I mean, she said that in the introductory phrase, like, I date down, and then she tried to run past it. But I just think I don't think there's enough men out here. Like every thing that is kind of coming about, I think we are failing to realize that there is a shortage of men. I don't think we're like really grasping it. Instead, we're kind of saying it and like we're joking, but like, no, it's for real. That's just, those are my thoughts. Mr. Curtis.
It's just that everybody have a preference, and you're right. Everybody does have a preference. I have a preference, but a lot of times I date outside my preference because I like big guys. I like big, tall, buff. Not even buff. I like fat boys. I like fat boys that's maybe a little bit darker than me. I like fat boys, and yes, you should love yourself before dating.
Right.
Here's the thing. Her dating down may not really be her dating down. She just feel like she dates down because they're not 6-figure. That's how it came off to me, that she felt like dating down was because they're not 6-figure. And at some point in all our lives, we've dated somebody who we shouldn't have dated, and we felt like we were dating down because they weren't on the level that we were on. But for me, I feel like, okay, so Avery Woodley, she has a YouTube. She did a response, kind of a response. She said that we're putting so much focus on him and not on her, and not on what she's not saying. And I was like, And she pretty much said, like I said, like, why? Who's her friend? Like, me and my girlfriends, don't sit around talking about, oh, I want a 6-figure man. We're not, that's the only people that we want to date. That's what she was saying. She said she has 3 kids, and you know, a lot of people probably looking at her like, why you didn't jump on him and this, that, and the third. But she's like, no, I'm looking at her like, again, same thing I said, why you calling into this station? Where your friends at? Why they even let you do this? Like, and then she said you had to look at what she did not say in the things that she did say. Like, she's dating down, like, and who she is as a person. And she even brought up the self-esteem thing. So I don't know. Well, I do know. Everybody has a preference, like Sharona says. It's up to you to, you can't ask a 6-figure man if you're not a 6-figure woman. According to her, I think that she's a 6-figure woman.
Yeah, she says she's a 6-figure woman. 3 years.
Oh. But what I'm realizing is a lot of men say they want a woman who can, and that's independent, that can do this, that, and a third, but then they get upset when a woman can't do for themselves. That's what I'm learning. Men that
can't do for themselves?
That can.
Oh.
Do for themselves. Like, the last guy I was dating, he was like, you're just as busy as me. Yeah. But I can make time for you. I'm making time for you. I'm making time to talk to you. You have things that's going on. So you really expect me to just be like, oh, he has something going on. Let me just sit here and wait for him to come around? No. That's just like, we were talking and I was like, so what do you want to do for New Year's Eve? And he said, I don't plan that far. I was like, oh, you know, I do because someone may ask me to do something. A friend or something may ask me if I want to do something, and I don't want to not have any plans. I mean, even if it's just sitting right here in the house. And he was like, oh, I don't plan that far. And I just was like, okay. Well, I love you make time because it's important. Definitely. You make time, Mr. Curtis, for whomever it is. But when you get tired of people wasting your time or not caring about your time, sometimes you don't be so eager to make time for them, if that makes sense.
Well, I just kind of think, I don't know, to me it more so seems like you said that women often, like, they aren't, I guess, stable by themselves. But to me it seems like the main women that get spoiled are the women that really don't have much going on. So I don't know if it's because they have so much time on their hands to just sit and be somebody's personal cheerleader or what exactly, but it's like they're being gifted things that you see other women out here struggling to do by themselves. So I don't know. Those are just my thoughts on things. I wouldn't mind a 6-figure man myself, but I take a 5-figure man. I'm not gonna lie, ain't nothing I can really do with somebody that just makes 4 figures. Like, what good would that be to me? Because I've already said I have a 16-year-old and 15-year-old. I just feel like, and I have other bills. I just know the type of lifestyle that I would like to live, you know, with someone, but I'm not going to sit around and wait on them either. So if I have to achieve all of that by myself, then I'm okay with it. Right. But I'm definitely not about to be calling in to some man that seemed like he might not even like women and then asking him for advice. That's just my take on things.
And that's it. Bam. That part, you know, in all honesty, and, you know, I'm with you. I don't have to have a 6-figure, but a 5-figure definitely, because I'm 5-figure, you know, and I don't mind being your personal cheerleader. I don't mind that. I don't mind being your personal cheerleader. However, know that I have things and I have goals that I want too. Like, I met this other guy, the one who ordered his food before I got there. Yeah. That guy. I literally, today he posted something on his page about, you know, is it hard dating in the 30s? And I was like, yeah, because people think that they can treat you like an average. And that was a jab at him, no doubt. Because I felt like he thought he could just treat me like average and I was supposed to just sit there and watch him eat and be like, oh. Because to me, if the conversation goes, you're not willing to, for me, if we're having a conversation about our date and you have a problem with where we might go or maybe we shouldn't eat. Maybe we should just go have drinks first because you don't know. You're not the person for me. And that's just how I feel, you know. But I have a preference. And again, like you, I'll do it by myself. I'll do it alone. And I'm good with that. I'm good with where I'm at in my singlehood. Opposed to, oh, I'm just so lonely. So yes, do I desire a man? Yes. I desire a man being right here on the other side of this computer, cheering me, yeah, babe, you look good. Okay, let me fix your light. Let me make sure this is straight. But if he's not here, I'm not gonna not do it.
Well, okay. I agree with all of that. So we don't have a sponsor this evening, but we do actually have our guests. I don't know if you want to go into the second news topic, or would you like for me to go ahead and bring the guests in?
We can go ahead and bring Kristen in.
All right. So.
Hey, beautiful.
Hey, boo. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Welcome to the Series and Thoughts podcast. Thank you for joining us.
No problem. I'm glad to be here.
Yes. So Chris went to high school with me just like Sharona did. We have some great people out of McDowell 35 Senior High School out in New Orleans. That's all I'm saying.
Designer number 35.
Okay. So in preparing for 2021 and just in a spirit of let's get out of 2020, I was like, Chris, let's get Chris on. She is the purpose pusher, and get her to give us some tips on pushing through, honey, pushing through this last couple of weeks and getting into 2021. So Chris, go ahead and tell our audience about you, who you are, baby. Tell us where, tell us.
Great. Well, thank you for having me, first of all. I'm super excited to be here. As Arnya mentioned, we went to high school together, so we've been knowing each other over 20 years at this point. Feels weird saying that, but it's true. I am by day instructional director of instructional technology at a school here in New Orleans. That's my day job, but by purpose, I am a mindset and purpose coach, known as Chris the Purpose Pusher. My goal is to help starting female entrepreneurs as well as growing entrepreneurs silence the noise, find peace, prosperity, shift their mindsets in their business. So that is what I do. I also host a podcast called The Push, which you can listen to on Anchor, Spotify, and Google as well. And I am a digital products creator as well. So I got a lot of hats that I wear, but I love them all.
It's so funny because you were speaking at Pastor Amara's conference, and I shared the post off of either your page or a pastor's page. And one of my girlfriends was like, who is that? I went to her website. I need her to help me. I was like, okay, I'll let her know that you're going to be contacting her. So tell us what that means, mindset coach, because I know you dabble in the digital world as well. So tell us about all of that. Tell us what that means, mindset, purpose, pushing, all of that. Tell us.
All that, right? So, ironically, I just started stepping into this role as a coach this year. January of this coming year will be 1 year since I fully embraced my gift and as a coach. But I had been using these techniques and principles as an educator. So my background, my original degree was in psychology, and Lord knows I thought I was just going to go off and go get my master's in psychology. I was going to work at Coca-Cola as an industrial organizational psychologist, and that was just going to be life. But that's not how it played out. I worked in corporate for 6 years, and then I got to a point where I just was frustrated with the 9 to 5, the routine of corporate life. Going in, sitting in my gray cubicle, putting on my headset and zoning out for a couple of hours, and then going home feeling like I didn't do anything. I know I did things, but I didn't feel fulfilled in what I was doing. I didn't feel like I had actually touched somebody's life in an impactful way. I hadn't left my mark on anything. I was like, what did I just do all day? Nothing. And so I decided to step into education, and it was one of those moves for me that required a huge shift in my mindset. And because I actually quit my job, I didn't have a backup plan at all. I was, at that time, my son was a toddler still in daycare. And if y'all know anything about daycare, it's like a whole nother car note to pay for daycare. And I told my mom, this is literally like a few years after Katrina, I was like, I'm gonna quit my job, which was paying over $40,000 at the time. You know, I'm in my 20s making over $40,000. That's a damn good job. And I'm gonna quit and go back to school. And my mom was like, she cried. And I just was like, oh my God, like I didn't expect that reaction because my mom's an educator. So I was like, oh my God, she really, really like upset. She's like, are you sure? Like, it ain't the same like when I was in the game, because she's retired now. She's like, it's not the same. I was like, I just know that this is what God is telling me to do, and I just gotta do it. And I just gotta trust that he's going to take care of me when I make this step. And I did it. I managed to literally claw my way back up in life from that point. Like, no job, working temp jobs, substitute teaching, doing whatever I had to do, just hustling really. And what it showed me in that moment is how important it is, your mindset, and how important your purpose is. And when you know that you are pursuing something that you are destined to do, it just really gives you a whole nother set of, like, a whole boost of energy. And you just make up in your mind, literally make up in your mind that I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to accomplish this. And I'm not going to worry. Like, my mama cried, and I'm a mama's girl, just like I'm a daddy's girl. Like, I'm really close with both of my parents. And so seeing her cry broke my heart. But at the same time, I was like, I can't let how my mother's feeling keep me from doing this thing that I know, like, it's just in me to do. And so I went on and did it. And I literally worked my way up through my career in education, from, teaching and all of this kind of stuff. And now I'm in director of instructional technology. But these are all things that I manifested because I talked to God about it. I literally was like, God, this is the next move I want to make. I wrote these things down on paper. And it's kind of ironic to go back and look at it and see how I was able to use the power of faith, my mindset, and just knowing that this is what God called me to do, to actually manifest the life that I really desired to have. And, entrepreneurship has always been something I loved. I started my first business at 8 years old, making borets and bookmarks, hustling.
Hey,
I didn't even realize that's what I was doing at the time. Because those words were not spoken over us back in that day. Nobody talked to us about being a business owner and entrepreneurship. The kids selling snacks out their backpack and stuff. Like, nobody told them you could open and own your own corner store. Like, nobody. They just was doing what they could do to make a little change. And so I kept asking God, like, why you got this entrepreneur thing on me so hard? And then I was like, I just really am passionate about seeing people grow in their business. And so I said, you know what? I was already kind of like helping friends. They come to me for advice. What you think about this? I need your ideas. And I was like, I guess I need to just go ahead on and step out and just start coaching them. And I was doing the same things. My master's actually in education is on teacher leadership, which is coaching and mentoring teachers. And so I just shifted, pivot is the buzzword this year. I literally pivoted with that degree because I was trying to figure out what I was going to do with that. Now I was like, I'm not really using that. And now I'm using everything I've learned from business, working in corporate, working as an educator. So that means I can teach really well because I have an education background, my degrees and everything. He just brought it all together in this beautiful marriage. And I'm just so grateful for him and for those who have trusted me to help and support them in their businesses this year. It's just been a blessing, y'all. I mean, 2020, in spite of the fact that it snatched many of us by our edges, it's really been a blessed year for me. I have to say, it's been a blessing.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Thank you.
I agree. I said, there's some unrest, but this has been my best earning year.
Yeah.
Period.
This is my best earning year. Did you have a question, Fancy?
No.
Okay. So, Chris, I like you. I love what you say because of course I knew your story because I would listen to your podcast.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it. And I was talking to Pep the other day and she just was, yeah, she helped me, just, and different things. So we're in 2020. A lot of people's minds are this. Let me just get through 2020. Like they are running out of 2020. They're running out of 2020 into 2021. And then my first thought is, if you go into 2021 with the same mindset, you're going to get the same results. So what would be the first thing you tell someone to change their mindset so 2021 could be a better year, and to not look at what's happening right in front of them, but, other stuff. So tell us.
Yeah. So for one, when it comes to shifting your mindset, it's all really about rewriting the narrative that's around you. And so for me, for one thing I know everybody needs to start doing is guard your mind, meaning your eyes, your ears, like protect that, because that's your peace. All of that represents your peace. And when you overly immerse yourself in the world's doings, right? We sit there for hours. I know I had to catch myself a few times because I was just flipping literally from one channel to the next, or scrolling from one post to the next during the Black Lives Matter protest, when it was like full on, and just feeling literally my body shaking and my heart racing and my energy shifting because I was getting so angry. And so one thing I realized is, because self-awareness for me has become a real high priority, is like I have to know when I have to shut off the noise, and when I have to retreat, and when I have to, in spite of how everything is looking, right? It's bleak. I mean, come on now. People have died. People have been shot and killed unjustly. People out here living their life and they should be arrested. Like, it's easy to get caught up in that. But we have to guard our peace. And it means we have to build a level of self-awareness that will tell us that we have to turn on the switch in ourselves and say, listen, back down from this, cut off, put the phone away, stop scrolling for a minute, and just quiet your brain, quiet yourself, and then shift your mindset towards being grateful for what it is that is going right in your life, because everything is not going wrong. It may seem that way if we allow it to look that way, but we have to start saying, you know what? But I'm still here. I don't have COVID. My sister recovered from it. I know plenty of friends who have, or, I have my job still. Like, we have to really put in perspective, if 2020 has taught us nothing, it's to be grateful, because there were a lot of people who did not make it through this pandemic, and not because of COVID, because the pressure of everything took them out, because they couldn't handle, they were unemployed, they have children to raise, and they didn't know how they want to do it. So they took matters into their own hands and ended their own lives. So we have to realize like how blessed we truly are in spite of the circumstance and what it looks like. So we have to just start, viewing things from a different lens, and not always speaking the worst, but hoping for the best. I have had so many perspective shifts this year on just little things that we even say, that we say in just passing, or it's a cliche phrase. And then God like convicted me about a lot of this stuff. It's like, stop saying that. Like, we say, well, I'm a, what's the worst that could happen? Why are you saying what's the worst that could happen? What's the best? What's the best thing that could come out of this situation? Just changing those little things in the way we talk and the way we perceive will help you deal with all the other noise that you can't control. Like, we cannot control this. So my goal and my job when I talk to people, when I'm coaching, is like, let's focus on what you actually have control over. Because some of the stuff you mad about, you don't have no control over. So why worry? Why over focus on that when you really can't do anything about it? You don't have the vaccine. You don't know the right recipe to get it right. You don't have the this or the that to go and fight the battle for the Black Lives Matter movement. Not saying you don't have to care about those things, but what can you actually control? And one thing I know I can control is what I let in my ears, my eyes, or what comes out of my mouth. Period.
Girl, you said a whole lot, because I stopped watching the news, honey. I haven't watched the news since March. You were saying something fancy.
I was just gonna think. I wanted to say what you said made me think about like I'm not in the Nation of Islam, but at one point I was studying and I remembered how you wear the hijab, I think is how you say it. But my point is, when they say that you cover your head, and the covering of the head is actually supposed to help you, kind of block out all of that as well. So I noticed, and it might sound crazy, but during the wintertime especially, I'll wear my scarf or I'll wear other things on my head, but it just seems like my mental space is so different because it's like I'm blocking out more than just the cold or more than just the noise, but like actually covering myself because everything that we hear, we take that all in whether we realize it or not. So I just wanted to just know that I really like how you said that.
Yeah. So if nothing else, as we are preparing, and I say, we definitely, one or two things typically happens around this year. We start beating ourselves up because of stuff we didn't accomplish, or we get really excited about the stuff we about to do. Like, it's usually one of the two. Sometimes it's both. You're like, dang, I didn't do everything I was supposed to do, but that's okay. I'm gonna kill it next year. And that's fine. We have to stop also putting so much pressure on ourselves to achieve goals that we set for ourselves. And I told myself at the beginning of this year, even before the pandemic even hit, I said, I'm not setting goals anymore. Like, I'm not setting resolutions. I'm not doing that to myself. I'm going, and then I'm beating myself up 2 months in when I ain't been to the gym every morning at 5:00 for my Zumba class. Like, I'm not going to do that to myself, because some of this stuff is self-inflicted. Like, real talk. We put this pressure on ourselves. We put these expectations on ourselves that are not even realistic for us. So I told myself, I said, going into 2021, one thing's for sure, I'm going to make sure I go in with a different mindset about goals and not the same, just putting stuff down because it's, 2021 is my year. Let me write my list out of everything I want to accomplish. Like, let's be real. Are you going to do that? Is your mindset in the right place for that? Because it's one thing to set a goal. And then another thing to have your mindset right to accomplish that goal. I can sit here right now and say, I'm going to go to the gym every morning at 5:00. Now, my mindset, though, is not there. I'm not in that place mentally. I can say whatever I want. I can write whatever I want. My mindset ain't there, though. And so that's what made me really want to focus on my mindset. Like, I have to get my mind right before I write the goal. I don't write the goal to adjust my mindset. Right. I adjust my mindset to accomplish the goal. Yeah. And that's the difference. That's the mistake we've been making, is we set the goal thinking that's going to be the motivation, when really you got to buck yourself up first and then go hit it.
Right. I mean, that right there, all of that, honey, all of that is a lot for us to chew on, because I so agree. Because when I decided I needed to be healthier, and it was like, okay, I'm going to start getting up at 5:30, but then I was like, you know what, I'm going to get up at 6 and that's fine. So I was doing that. My mindset changed. Then I set the goal that, okay, I can make that sacrifice and different things. So I so love that, with the not making the reservations, the resolutions. I'm hungry. Sorry. I'm talking about reservations.
That too. So we want to go outside so bad. We want to make reservations.
I know. Make reservations. Fancy, did you have something?
Well, I was going to say, I did like that as well. I stopped making resolutions quite some time ago. But I wanted to know if you practice affirmations, and if you do, then if there's one that you might have for being stuck.
Right. So I do. I practice affirmations. I definitely keep some scriptures that I feel like, I have to stand on in moments when I feel like I feel doubt creeping in. Because let me tell you, just because I'm a mindset coach does not mean I don't have moments where my mind is like playing tricks on me. I'm like, but because I've grown in my self-awareness, I'm able to literally like step outside of myself and check myself before I go too far down the rabbit hole of, but, I'm too, I can't do it. It's too hard, and start the self-pity party. I really step out of myself and be like, hold up, boo. We're not doing that today. We're not doing it. And I really have worked at this though. This is work every day. And one thing, like that's why my scripture I stand on is Romans 12:2, which is to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And that to me says that's an everyday process. It's every day you get up, you have to be working on your mindset. There is no magic anything that anybody got going on, coach, guru, consultant, or advisor that's going to make you have the shift that's going to be permanent. You're going to have moments where the dollar's going to try to ease back in the other direction. But what I do try to give you is strategy to identify when that's happening so you can have that moment of clarity and say, hold up, I recognize this. I recognize what's happening. But yes, I definitely have my affirmations. I have what now I'm doing is declarations. I've kind of moved past affirmations, just saying I'm beautiful, I'm smart, I'm strong. And the reason why I moved to declaration is because I'm gonna try not to get too deep, y'all.
No, get deep, girl. Deep. I'm about to take notes.
With my friends, because if you think about a declaration, think about the document that this country itself is all about, the Declaration of Independence, right? Mm-hmm. A declaration, when you look up the word to declare something, it's really about having faith. Faith is a declaration. It's literally saying, this thing gonna happen regardless. And so much so that a declaration was so important that they wrote a whole document called the Declaration of Independence. So I'm like, declaration must be something special to have a declaration. So I'm not doing resolutions. I'm not doing goals. I do affirmations, yes, but not in the same sense that I once did. Mm-hmm. It's more for tune-up purposes, but I'm just declaring all year that things are going to happen for me. I'm just making it a non-negotiable that certain things have to happen for me. And so I'm declaring that they're going to happen and not just affirming, but declaring that these things are going to take place for me. So again, that was a shift for me. That was a shift for me as far as moving past certain things. But, if you can't tell already, I love the Lord. But I also realized that as much as we love our affirmations, the scriptures also, it has everything in it we need. We don't need a whole bunch of affirmations to tell us this or that. There's a scripture. If I can find a scripture to stand on something, then I know that's God co-signing it all, co-signing for me. Right. So if I say something and I'm like, hold up, is there a scripture that backs that up? Yep, there is. Okay, cool. Then I'm going to keep moving with that. So those are the things that I put into practice as I'm preparing and as I'm working through my own mental struggles that I have periodically, because we all do. No matter how perfect anybody's lives look, we all go through things in our mindset.
Right. I like that though. I like that, especially like the declarations part.
I was gonna say, I don't want to deal with nobody who ain't never been through nothing, ain't going through nothing. I want my therapist to have a therapist, baby. Look.
I got a coach. I got 3. Look.
Listen, I got a therapist. I need a coach. I need a mentor. That's what I need. That's my next thing that I need. And I probably need a coach too, girl. I might have to call you.
Well, I was going to ask, at what point do you think, at what point should one consider hiring a coach? So
I think the first thing you need to decide for yourself is what are the areas that you're struggling in, because there's a tons of type of coaches out there, right? Mm-hmm. I have a coach for different aspects of my life and business where I know that's not where my strength lies. So like I literally have a coach to help me plan, because I'm full of ideas, child, but organizing it in a way that's going to make me execute it so I can actually be productive is a struggle for me, because I'm like, ooh, and ooh, and ooh, I could do this and do this. And it's like, okay, Chris, calm down. Put it in a plan. How long is it going to take? Is that a 3-month goal? Is that a 6-month goal? So I have someone to help me do that. Shout out to Special Brooks of the Special Plan. She's my planning coach. I have someone to help me with like marketing for my business, because that's not my jam. Like, I love business, but I didn't get a degree in marketing. So I have someone to help me do that. And I think coaching, in all honesty, is a great stepping stone to getting further help if you're not sure yet if you need a therapist or a professional mental health counselor. So it needs to be also clear that a coach is not your mental health professional. If you are having issues around traumatic life experiences, then that tells me you need a therapist or a psychiatrist of some sort. You need therapy. But if you're saying, hey, I need some help with my eating, I struggle with eating right, a coach can help. I need to get in shape, a coach can help. I need my finances right. Shout out to my financial coach, the financial savage, Pamela Manuel. Like, I need some help with my finances. I got a coach. You can't go to your therapist to get your finances right. So it's kind of like an in-between place, right? It's a good place to fall, because typically it's cheaper to get a coach than it is to get a therapist. You don't have to have insurance to get a coach. You don't have to have all these other things, to get a coach. And a lot of times there's programs that you can do on your own, more self-paced with a coach, that you can't get with your therapist. You can't get self-paced therapy. Like, you can't, but you can get self-paced coaching. You can, take a course or do a webinar and get some of that stuff worked out. But it's a great stepping point to see where am I and if I need more support than what this coaching can offer me. But it is definitely a great starting place if you're looking to make some real changes in your life, but you're struggling with how to do that.
Gotcha.
That's good advice. That's like really, really good. Because I've always been told, you need somebody that can help with those different things. Miss Patricia said a fitness coach. Yes, ma'am. Different people, because I have a fitness coach. I have somebody that calls me and be like, I seen what you post on Facebook. And I'm like, and I have an eating coach.
All of it.
I have that. I have that because, and she's so great, and I've learned how to manage and, change up different things and everything. You've given us a plethora of ideas and thoughts, and I'm just loving it. I'm glad that we had you on. I know I had talked about it before, and then I was like, let me pull this trigger. Let me get Chris on this time.
This was perfect timing, though. This was actually perfect time, and I love being able to talk at this time of the year, because it is that time of reflection for a lot of us, and we're kind of like going within ourselves and trying to see how can we be better people and how can we, accomplish more, and so forth. But honestly, if anybody, has anything to take away from this, is don't be too hard on yourself. Don't over promise anything to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, we over promise to ourselves and then get mad when people don't believe we gonna do this stuff.
Yeah, that's a word.
Like, I'm gonna work out, I'm gonna save $10,000, I'm gonna do this, I'm doing this, and everybody else like, girl, you ain't gonna do all of that. Y'all don't believe me? And it's really like we over promise ourselves, and then we're mad when other people don't believe. Keep it simple. It's all right to just have one goal for the whole year of 2021. It really is. If your goal in 2021 is just to stack your coins, stack your coins. We don't know. There's no rule about setting goals. And there's nothing that says we have to have all these other things going. Just do one thing and do one thing well. Become a master of that thing, instead of trying to add on and add on and add on, and then disappointed when you can't accomplish it all. So yeah, I mean, but it takes a shift. It does take a shift in our mindset and perspective to understand ourselves, building that self-awareness. We talk about self-care, and I get it, bubble bath, get your little massage in your facial, but there's definitely something to be said of self-care, like spending time with yourself to build your self-awareness is key when it comes to making these shifts in your mindset, because you got to know where it came from.
And I see some comments. I see Lauren Janelle said, I need, to fulfill my own happiness for me. Patrice was saying, I agree, master one thing. Who is that? Ashley said, "Jack of all trades, master of none." I've heard that as well.
That is me. Jack of all trades, master of none. Self-awareness is so important. I see Miss Patrice also said self-awareness is so important. Self-awareness is so important, and we're always talking about self-care, because I tell people I have Jesus and a therapist. I go get a massage every Monday. I missed my appointment yesterday. I was so upset because I didn't put it in my calendar, and I don't know how I forgot that. Just taking a mental break from social media as well. Sometimes I just put my phone down and turn my phone off and be like, look, I might text Fancy and my 3 people that I talk to almost throughout the day. Fancy, Sharona, and Arnitra, and tell them I'm turning my phone off. I might do something like that just so they know nothing's wrong. But just to get away, away from it all. And sometimes I sit in my car. I feel like that's self-care and self-awareness. Sitting in my car and just being
a minute. Just taking a minute to yourself.
Yeah. Spend time with you. I mean, we focus. I know that with the pandemic, it's like, because we were told we can't go spend time with other people, it feels like we just really want to spend time with other people. Yeah. But maybe this time was meant for you to get to know you more. Maybe this time should have been used for you to reconnect with the things you love and the things you're passionate about. We always talk about how we don't have enough time to do this and time to do that. And then the pandemic came and shut everything down and we had nothing but time. But we spent our time unwisely. We spent our time looking at the pandemic on TV when we could have been reconnecting with those things we love to do, like dance or art or reading or whatever, cooking, like learning a new skill. We could have spent that time doing something that we were actually passionate about instead of immersing ourselves in the fact that outside was closed and we can't go. I believe everything happens for a reason. I believe that some people, benefited from this time and feel refreshed. They needed this recharge. Their job was burning them out. I mean, they were missing spending time with their kids, and it brought it all together. They were missing connecting with their spouse or loved one, and now they had that opportunity. It's all in how you took the situation and looked at the situation, and whether or not you allowed it to work for your good or for your bad. And so, this is not taken away from the loss that has occurred from the ones that have gone on, but it's just really understanding like how important it is, how precious time is, and how sometimes the day-to-day of life gets so hustly and bustly that we just really forget who we are. We start wearing the hats and all these other roles that we play in life more than we wear the hat of who we are. And that's one thing I wanted to do, that I'm happy I was able to do this year, is reconnect with Kristen. I was like, well, let me get to know me. What I like to do. What's up with her? Instead of just being, Kali's mom and Mark's wife and Valerie's daughter. Like, these are all hats I wear, yes. But before anything else, I'm Kristen. Right. And who she is. And this is what she loves to do. And this is, this is me. And I've truly enjoyed this year of getting to know me again. If 2020 was nothing else for me, it was the getting to know me year. So
right, I agree. And Miss Valerie did say she loved her baby girl. We missed her.
I was meaning, but I didn't know who it was. So is that your mom?
That's my mom.
No. She just said Valerie. I was like, Miss Valerie said she needs to let you know, honey, that she's here. That was when you was talking about she cried. Chris, this has been such a great experience with you here. We're definitely going to have you back on. Probably maybe in the middle of the year, just to kind of get us through the rest of 2021. So tell us, did we miss anything? Is there something that you would like to tell our audience before we let you go?
Well, just, if you all want to get in touch with me, reach out to me as you're getting ready to move into 2021. I'm on Instagram at Chris the Purpose Pusher. I'm on Facebook as well. You can look Chris the Purpose Pusher up as well on Facebook, or you can do Kristen Pate Inc. Either will work. I actually have a program I'm launching. This enrollment is actually open now if you want to start getting some coaching, especially for my entrepreneurs, because again, most of my focus is on entrepreneurship, women in entrepreneurship, but anybody really can benefit from coaching. But my focus typically is entrepreneurs, and that's who I usually work with. But I'm launching a program called the Mindset Makeover, and this is basically a group coaching program. So you're not in it by yourself. So you're getting that accountability and that network to help you and keep you consistent, because that's a huge problem that we have with a lot of the things that we don't get through is consistency. So it includes, a mastermind where we're going to be meeting on a regular basis live. There's going to be a course embedded in there as well. And then you'll also be able to get some one-on-one time with me for about 30 minutes once a week, if you need it, as needed, for a little tune-up and maintenance, or just for some questions that you may have that we can't address during our live times. But then right now I have that enrollment open for $59 a month. It's going to be on a 6-month roll. So it's going to start in January. And once the January enrollment is over with, then it'll close and then it'll reopen again at mid-year. But it is $59 right now for the first 6 months. It's per month for the first 6 months. But I promise you, if you was to go and get a coach that you met with and, had to go get an accountability group and had to go and get all these other things to put together this program, you would definitely spend more than $59 a month. But we have to start investing in ourselves too. So hopefully, people understand that, just like you invest in, meal prep and gym memberships, invest in invest in yourself as well, and getting to know you better and understanding some of your mental blocks that you've been having that have probably been keeping you held back, but you didn't understand why and where it came from. So reach out to me. You can go to my website, www.kristenpate.com, to sign up. Or you can visit my Instagram page as well for more information. And you can schedule a 15-minute little chat, a little vibe session with me, and we can see if that's the right program for you. But I definitely encourage everyone to look into it who's interested in doing something different and investing in their own well-being and going into the next year.
And all her information is actually down here that she's saying. So that is so great. Thank you again for joining us. Yes, that sounds like a great program, because you're right. In order to pull all these different things, and you have it right here in one spot. So that's awesome.
Yes. So, and before I get out of here, also, if you just want to even get a little sprinkling, you can also join my community. It's called the Purpose Pushers. Yes. So you can just go to purposepushers.mn.co, purposepushers.mn.co. It's free to join that community right now as well until December 31st. So jump on in there, and we have some great groups in there as well.
Yep, I'm a part.
Yes. Okay. I was trying to add it in the comments. I think I got it right. I don't know. Is that right?
Purposepushers.mn.co. Perfect. Yep, okay. That's it right.
All right.
All right, ladies.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you
for having me. And y'all have a blessed and safe holiday. And I'll see y'all in 2021.
Yes, ma'am.
All righty. Bye.
That was good. This little piece right here would not let me be great. It just didn't look right. It kept. That was some good information. And you have to change your mindset. If you don't change your mindset, you can't get nothing done. That's why I tell people are like, why you don't get the weight loss surgery? First of all, I don't think I'm that big to get the weight loss surgery. Number two, what difference does it make to get the weight loss surgery and not eat bad? Mindset. See how that goes? So
it's our conscious decision. That's what I was waiting on her to say. It's always like a conscious decision, and that's how just really, when you just really look at it, that's everything right there. You got to make the conscious decision to do it, because once you make that, then okay, you're gonna start moving with it. So
sometimes you need somebody to do that, and she has a good podcast. I catch it at times, and she has some great things that she's doing. That's why I wanted her on here, just to kind of not just me and Fancy telling you can get through it and how to. We have other people to come on. As always, you can find me at Linktree, LadiCEO. I actually was drinking some Chardonnay tonight. This Chardonnay is so good. I don't think you can see the thing. but this is from my wine. You can find out the information right there in my link tree. This glass, no, you can't find it there, but it says I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, but if the white runs out, I'll drink the red. I actually been posting on a little thing right there. Also, this shirt is not my shirt. It is actually one of my clients' shirts. I believe in supporting my clients whenever I can, just to promote their thing. So this is Alicia's palette. I think it's Alicia's.palette on Instagram. You can find her website in my link tree. You can also find Fancy SwagHer's and Fancy's link tree in mine too, and Sharona's, because I try to put everything there. So if somebody's looking for any of y'all, do that. So that's all I have, and I'm feeling this vibe, girl. Can't you tell?
Yeah, we can tell, man. We definitely get it. So you all can find me on all platforms as Fancy SwagHer. My link tree is Fancy's Thoughts, and all the SwagHer Magazine platforms are SwagHer Magazine. Of course, you can check out the website at swagher.net. If you are on Clubhouse, then please follow me. I do follow back, especially if it seems like you have something interesting going on. And trying to think. Well, yeah. Okay, that's all the announcements I'm gonna do tonight.
Well, just to remind you guys, we have 2 more episodes and we'll be off on break for a month. But we got some great things coming up. Even though we're gonna be off, we're gonna be regrouping and resting. Self-care, honey. So don't be alarmed if you cannot follow us. Of course, you can always catch the old episodes at SwagHer's YouTube. This thing is off. I'm pointing at you, but I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
So if my eyes ever look like I'm not looking at her. Fancy is on this side of me.
Okay.
That's what. Anyway. So you can catch on Fancy's on SwagHer's YouTube or my own YouTube. You can catch old episodes. We have some great episodes just to keep you up to par. Things that you may have missed throughout the year. We have some excellent guests. Excellent guests. If you'd like to be a guest on SwagHer on Theories and Thoughts podcast, please reach out to me. My link tree are Arnya at LadiCEO.com. For more information, if you want to sponsor a segment. What am I talking about?
I don't know. Have you had too much Chardonnay? Because you kind of get too bubbly over there. Okay. You're already talking about this is on this.
It was like you're on this side.
I got what you were saying. I'm just joking, but it was just funny because it made me think of it. But yeah.
Also, what I want to say. I will have Monday. I will be me and my friend Patrice. We will be talking about online dating. So that flyer is coming right up. So stay tuned to my Instagram, my Facebook, all of that. I'll be posting that flyer. We will be talking about online dating. A lot of people ask me questions about dating, being single at 40. I'm not 40 yet, but I'm almost there. And things like that, and her as well. So we want to talk about that, get that out there. I'm excited about that as well. We are looking, if you are an entrepreneur and you're looking to promote, we have a special thing happening, a special opportunity for you to advertise. It is $400 and it's for you. Roku is for a segment, something special that's happening. But the segment will air on Roku TV and Apple TV. So don't miss out if you got that coin. I know, y'all. I know. It is the holiday season, but get in touch with us if you're interested. You can contact Fancy. I think you put your email address, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't have my email address there, but you all can contact the page or just any SwagHer platform, and we'll provide you with more information on that.
Yeah.
And actually, just letting you know, because we were doing it for 333.
Yeah, 333.
Yeah, 333. So if anybody's interested in that, but it is part of a special segment that we'll be working on with Theories and Thoughts. So yeah.
Yes. So I think that's all. I have. Next week, our guest will be talking about helping kids get through the holidays with COVID and trauma that has happened this year, we're really excited about that guest. I'll be in New Orleans for that episode. So, yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, peace and blessings, y'all.
Bye, y'all.